So this is a laughing emoji from the iPhone and this is a laughing emoji from the Android, but they look different. So why? Well, this isn't just any tiny design choice because there's an entire history behind why the emojis on the iPhone look so different as compared to that of the Android. And let's just say some of these changes have been questionable over the past years. Now, before we dive into the emoji war, let's rewind back a bit. So you see, emojis weren't always these glossy, polished icons that we use today. You see, back in the late 90s, a guy named Shigitaka Kurita, who, by the way, was working on Japan's first mobile internet system, designed the first set of emojis to help users communicate faster without typing longer messages. However, these were small 12 by 12 pixelated icons, so think of it like an old school pixel art, but in black and white. So fast forward a few years later, and Apple decided to sneak the emoji support into their first iPhone, but only for Japanese users. And the reason was because Steve Jobs wanted to break into the Japanese market. And since emojis were already a big deal in Japan, Apple quietly had to add an emoji keyboard to the iOS. But there's a twist. You see, Apple originally hid the emoji keyboard in the iOS because it was only intended for Japanese users. And that the only way you can get to use it was if you reside in Japan or your region was set to Japan. But even though Apple restricted this hidden emoji keyboard, tech savvies quickly found a way around it. And thanks to some sneaky apps like Emoji Free, this gave users the access to this hidden emoji keyboard. And with that, the emoji fever spread everywhere. So as more and more people began to saw these emojis in text, they began to like it and wanted them too, leading Apple to fully unlock the emoji keyboard for everyone in 2011 with the release of the iOS 5. And with that, Android also joined the chat. So here's where things started to get a little bit weird. You see, Apple and Google both wanted to use emojis, but they both had different ideas about how they should look. So Apple went for a sleek, almost 3D-like design, while Google, on the other hand, well, they experimented a lot. At a point, Android emojis were these blob-shaped creatures that look like a melted marshmallows. You'd send a crying emojis and they'd look like a sad potato. Meanwhile, Apple's version was all polished and almost human-like. So this led to so much confusion because a happy face on an iPhone might look so creepy on Android and vice versa. But as time passed by, updates started rolling in to fix these issues. And with that, Apple slowly flattened their emojis, moving away from that 3D look to a more modern design. While Android, on the other hand, well, they went through a whole identity crisis. The blobs were gone and they tried a more realistic look. But in 2017, they completely redesigned everything to match Apple's rounder aesthetic. Wait, and let's not forget Samsung. Well, their emojis, completely different from both iOS and stock Android. So much so that if you texted a Samsung user, it's like you are entering a whole alternate emoji universe. Why? But today, things have kind of stabilized. Apple still sticks to their slightly detailed glossy look, while Google, on the other hand, well, they've gone for a more flat, slightly cartoonish design, which is more universal, but the differences are still there. For example, the laughing emoji on the iOS has a slightly tilted eyes, but on the Android, they are round. And these are small details one may say, but it's enough to change the whole feeling of a message. And let's be real, the emoji drama is still alive and well. You'd send a message with a grimacing face emoji on an iPhone, but on Android, it is smiling awkwardly. And that one emoji alone can ruin friendships. So now you know why your text might be getting lost in emoji translation. Also, Apple, Samsung, Google, even WhatsApp and Twitter or X, they all have their own emoji styles. Meaning, depending on a phone your friend might be using, they might see something completely different from what you intended to send. So, who do you think does emojis best? Is it Apple, Android, or Samsung? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in my next upload.